Okay, Broncos country, big game against the Chiefs at home this Sunday. We need JK Dobbins. We need a running game, but it is still up in the air if he's going to play. I'm going to dive into the latest on his foot injury and also talk about some potential guys we could see signed to the practice squad and then elevated if you were to miss some time. Y'all be sure smash that like, hype, subscribe, and get in the comments. Let me know what you would do. Let me know what you want to see. But let's go ahead and get started. Shout out to Zach Stevens. I think he had like a typo in this tweet, but I'm going to try my best to decipher it. Important timelines for JK Dobbins. He did not go on IR today, clearing one hurdle. Usually a lot of those moves are made on Tuesdays. That is true. I think this is more of a question. Will he practice Wednesday, Thursday, and or Friday? Will he go on IR on Saturday? If he doesn't go on IR on Saturday, then great sign he won't go on IR. If he practices this week, a good sign he could play against the Chiefs. Okay, guys, I feel like I had a stroke reading that, but all love to Zach Stevens. Here's the deal. Zach Stevens staying the obvious. The fact that JK didn't go on IR today, I think that's a positive indicator. There's a chance the next kind of window for him to be put on is on Saturday. So we got to see if he practices tomorrow. If he practices this week, maybe that's an indication that he won't miss a lot of time. However, if he misses practice this week, then he'll probably be put on IR. That's what it sounds like to me. So hopefully it's not all too serious. I would love JK to play in this game, but I'm going to say it only if he's like 90%. If he's generally healthy, yes. But hey, if it's going to be like a 50-50 type of thing, I don't think it's worth it. We still have another game coming up against the Chiefs that we really need him for. And so let's cover, guys, some potential free agents to bring in here. Okay. Obviously, RJ Harvey would be the guy, along with Tyler Badie, maybe Jaleel McLaughlin, but they're kind of similar running backs in a sense, and you might need more of a bruiser or a thumper type, somebody who can come in and help with pass protection. I forget who it was on Twitter brought up the idea of maybe Latavius Murray. I mean, he retired earlier this year, I think in like July. Maybe he could come out of retirement, but I'm only going with guys that have not retired so far. We're going to go with Gus Edwards. And yeah, he's a stout back. I want to say he's like 6 feet, 230 pounds or so. And I think that he's a pretty solid running back. Now, also has dealt with injuries. You can see his yards per carry kind of went down quite a bit this past year with the Chargers, but still, I think a quality running back. I think he's got vision there. How does he look coming off injury? I forget what his injury was last year that ended his season. You can see 11 games played. I can't remember off the top of my head, but again, we're in November now of 2025, and I would think that he's pretty healthy. So we could sign him. We could sign him to a practice squad. Yeah, not on a practice squad right now. So you could bring him on and then elevate him for a few games if needed. Again, going to help in pass protection, the short yardage running, really tough running back again, 230 plus pounds. Yes, please. Next, another injury prone running back who has had success in certain years, Deontay Foreman, a former Texas Longhorn. You know, Sean Payton loves them. 3.3 average last year with the Cleveland Browns as opposed to 3.6 that Edwards had with the Chargers, but much worse offensive lineman. And yeah, I think he's close to like 235, 240 pounds as well. So a guy that can help in pass pro and get a lot of tough yardage. He's somebody that you could sign for that specific role. Some backs that I think could be a little bit more do it all would be, first off, Jamal Williams has experience, I want to say, with Pete Carmichael, about 205 pounds. Definitely did not have a good season last year, but a little bit more of a bounce back from 2023. Averaged 2.9 yards in 2023, 3.4 this past year. And in 2022, he had 17 touchdowns. He was phenomenal, kind of more of a bust with the Saints over the last couple of years, but a veteran, been in the NFL like 8 seasons or so. So somebody that would bring a lot of veteran experience. I'm cool with that, as well as Zach Moss. Zach Moss could be cool. He's kind of a smaller running back as well. I think around 200 pounds, but somebody who can do a little bit in the passing game. Had 23 receptions last year, averaged 3.3 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns last year with Cincinnati. I thought he looked good with his time in Indianapolis, again, running behind a really good offensive line. And I think we got a pretty good offensive line. So, again, any of these guys I would be cool with signed to the practice squad. Right now, we got a bunch of small guys. So that would be a move that, honestly, today on Tuesday, I was expecting the Broncos to make. We might wait until the bye week in order to do something like this. So, y'all let me know. Are there any other answers that you guys have for the Broncos and this running back position? We have Deuce Vaughn on the practice squad, but he's another tiny guy. Maybe this is the time that Blake Watson comes back on the practice squad. You know, we cut him with an injury designation. He should be recovered from that and fully healthy now, which is awesome. But yeah, something to monitor. RJ Harvey, it's going to be your time to shine this week, quite possibly. So if JK is limited on Wednesday, I think that's a great sign. But if he's a DNP, I'm going to be pretty bullish, or bearish rather, on his likelihood to play against Kansas City. And we'll need more out of Bo, especially in the running game. Use his legs a bit, and hopefully that can help fill in for some of the production that we would lose with JK Dobbins for this week. So y'all be sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments. Be sure to like, subscribe as always. Go Broncos.